Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Change is Near. Today is a Saturday. This is episode 24 of March 26th of the year 2022. And this video, I was not gonna do an episode today, or I was gonna wait till Monday, but yesterday I got an email from one of our listeners, and I was very inspired by that because this person asked me if I could explain better the things that happen when we go in our change of experience and we leave this earth. And I kind of touched on that on the episode of There's No Wrong Way to Go to Heaven. If you haven't seen that, you might want to see that as well, apart from this episode. But I decided to make a 10-minute, 15-minute episode so I can really explain what I think is going on. And I'm gonna try to not touch into religious subjects because I know religions talk a lot about this process, and it's basically one of the main purposes of religions to explain the processes of what happens when we die. Something that has interested mankind and human being as long as we have existed, because it's the process we're afraid. Living is, we know what happens, but death, we don't really know. So we're really interested in that. And again, as the text in the screen shows, and that's why I'm leaving it a little bit longer on this episode, these are my feelings. This is not necessarily the truth. There's no way I can prove this to you. And if you are religious, a Catholic, a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Jew, or whatever beautiful religion you feel inside you, that's great. That's your process right now, you see. That's your process right now. I totally respect it. I want to clarify that. I'm not against any religion, okay? It's the process you feel. If anything, if you allow me to interfere a little bit, is what I'm telling you in a way. I don't feel we need to judge each other and say, if you don't believe like me, then you're going to be tormented for eternal life, or you're going to hell, or whatever concepts that I don't even understand, to be honest. If we're talking about benevolent gods, hell doesn't exist, okay? That's my feeling and my opinion. So you see, I'm just going to go through what I think and feel is your eternal life, okay? The way I see it, the way it's coming to me, the way I understand it. Some of this stuff, I've got it from other people, a little bit from books, most of it through my own intuition, okay? So I want to clarify that. If you find it interesting, if something of this resonates with you, then maybe there's something there for you. If you don't find this interesting and nothing resonates with you, there's nothing for you here at this moment in your existence, okay? So you see, God, it's also been called the source, but I prefer to call him God. It's as I said, it's an energy. Well, let's call him the Father, okay? Because he's the Father of everything, not only human beings or beings, the Father of everything, planets, energy, free energy throughout the universe, the most beautiful kind, and everything. Well, you see, he's so benevolent that he creates everything through free will, so that's why we have an anti-universe, and we have beings that are non-benevolent, and they want to harm others, and they basically don't respect the basic laws and very simple laws of the universe, that you have to non-interfere and accept non-interference, you have to live in balance and accept everything that is out of balance, and you have to live through your free will by respecting laws 1 and 2, okay? That's very important. You don't get to do what you want. You get to do what you want by respecting others. I hope that makes sense. So, you see, we suddenly are created. So, the only reason you were created, or the fact you were created, is the only thing that may be of importance to you, because you're here. So you're going to go on forever. Again, these are my feelings. Please, guys, go back to the disclaimer. You're going to go on forever, and you are going to become this beautiful beacon of light and love and guidance, and what we find through literature referred as angels, okay? So that's our mission. And by the way, that's going to be fun. This is going to be, because I get a lot of questions about that. So what happens? So I'm just going to be helping others, and where's the fun? Because as Madonna used to say, girls just want to have fun, okay? So we only want to have fun. It seems that the only thing that attracts us sometimes, and a bit disappointing, but I mustn't judge. So yes, it's going to be very fun, you see. You're going to live through eternal ecstasy. So whatever you feel right now with the earthly pleasures and whatever those may be, I mentioned it many times, food, drink, social interaction, entertainment, sports, material things, if that's your thing, having cars and gold and jewelry, I don't judge you. I mean, if that's your thing, that's what you enjoy, that's what makes you tickle inside, and then that's it. Enjoy all of that, okay? Enjoy all of that through this earth experience, because when you break this earth experience and go to some things, it's not gonna be the same. I mean, maybe you're gonna be even happier, but it's gonna be different, okay? So it's very important we go through that. It's very important. I have a difference of opinion with monks, for example, that you have to be meditating all the time. No, do a little meditation every day. Joe from Waking the Future says 20 minutes a day, 2 times a day, I think. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I will shoot, if you can start with 5 minutes a day, 1 time a day, that is excellent. If you can start and then keep growing that to 10, 15, and you can meditate for an hour total in a day, that's perfect. The day has 24 hours, so you see, and we dedicate time to so silly stuff sometimes that, if you can really dedicate time to that, I'm sorry, really, yeah, I'll be very happy. And it's not about me, it's, the fact that you're doing that is gonna make me happy because of you. So I wanted to show you, I prepared this slide, and we're gonna go through it, and you see inception is what I just talked about. So the fact you were created, you remember you're a copy of God. So you have all the power, all the wisdom, all the spirituality, all the goodness, all the benevolence of God, it's inside you. Because you're a copy, it's a little clone. But don't take much importance of the little part. You're a clone of God, okay? So that statement you hear sometimes, that so you are God. Yes, so you are God, and we are all God. And Mother Earth is God, and planets are God, and other civilizations are God. So what best way to create the universe than just blimping little clones all the time? But these little clones could go rogue, and that's why the anti-universe exists, where these copies of God that they don't know better, they're very confused, they don't vibrate in love, they vibrate in fear and hate and envy. They live there, imagine it's like a cave, they have to live there, but they shadow copy in the universe, and that's where they create their evil. They're just confused. We mustn't judge them, love them, love them. Maybe that will help them radiate love to them. That will help them get on their way, which is this line, which has a little detour I'm going to explain about. So you see, you're incepted, and from my understanding and what I feel, is very difficult to come to Earth like when you are a very young soul. Okay, so that's why Earth has kind of mid-age to very old souls, because it's such a difficult place to traverse. It doesn't seem like that, but it's a very difficult reality. So the universe is so benign and so benevolent that it will send you to better, I don't want to call better, I'm sorry, different civilizations as you go. So you see, I put here on the chart, you join Civilization A. There are many Blue Avians, Arcturians, many, the Pleiades. I don't want to mention one name that doesn't resonate with you and you stop watching, you see, but there are many, thousands, millions. I don't know, there are many. So you see, it's not only you join a Civilization A, so you become maybe a Blue Avian or something like that, but you can join Civilization B and many more. I don't know how many more. Or you can keep having experiences with the same civilization, that also happens, or you can be very curious, so you can, jump from planet to planet, from galaxy to galaxy. As a spirit, you can traverse the universe in a blink of a second. So time and distance is none of importance to you, and I've mentioned that many times. So let's go. So if you're looking at the screen, so with Inception, join Civilization A and B, and I mentioned many more. So imagine those are many dots, okay? Of course, in the screen, I could only fit a certain number of dots. So imagine after Civilization B, you could go to Civilization C and D and E and F. I don't know. Many. If every story is different. That's why I say, find out who you are. Find out your story, because it's incredible. So I don't know how many civilizations you join. I don't know if you're a young soul, a middle-aged soul, or a very old soul, or old or very old. I don't know. Each story is different. But you definitely you are not only a human. You are definitely joined other civilizations in the universe, I'm sure, and my hunch tells me multiple, okay? So if you're interested in my story, I joined the Blue Avians, and I also joined the Pleiades, and maybe I'm discovering that I joined other civilizations as well. I had many experiences there, you see, that I don't recall very well, but I'm trying to. It's very interesting to me, and maybe I'm ready to find out. You see, everything in the universe is perfect. The balance is perfect, so you discover this stuff as you need to discover it, okay? So let's go to dot number 4. So you don't think about that that's for later on. Just think you join humanity for the first time. So you kind of go about it like in civilizations A and B and C and D, which are benevolent, by the way. I have to clarify that. There's no matrix there, okay? So as you end your experience with those civilizations, it was up to you to come back for another experience. Or, again, if you're very curious, go to another planet or another galaxy. It's up to you. You have your own free will. So everyone has a different story. So you see, we joined humanity for the first time, and we thought everything was the same. But then, when you follow the line, suddenly there's a detour, you see. There's a detour. And in that detour, unfortunately, if you were, and again, please, religious, Christians, Catholics, everyone, this, again, is my feeling. I'm not saying, because when I say this stuff, they say I'm going to go to hell and I'm, an anti-religion. No, I'm just saying, in my feeling, if you can allow me that, you are deceived by light. Okay, there's going to be a light that's going to deceive you. There's going to be many stuff there. I'm not going to talk about that, because that's very touchy. But you see, just if you want to keep going and listening, just assume there's a light and you go into the light, okay? So when that happens, you're being returned to earth. That's a self-perpetuating system of harvesting souls. Yes, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. So what happens when you go into the light? I don't know very well, and I'm not really that interested. But let me just tell you this. If I'm right, and this self-perpetuating system, that dotted line, exists. So what they're going to do to you when you're in the holding pattern, when you're in this place waiting to be reinserted into earth against your free will, because you're being deceived, so you don't know better. I mean, they train you all your life for this. So is this really your free will, or is this something you were deceived to do? Does that make sense? So if this, let's assume, unfortunately, this part of the light is not very benevolent to you, what they're going to do to you inside there? Are they going to put a giant screen with football games and, and give buffalo wings and pizza and beer for everyone and whatever? And you're going to have, playing ping pong and that? Or they're going to try to make you have fear and hate and envy and hierarchies and all that, so they can harvest that while you're in this holding pattern? You decide. Unfortunately, the logic tells us if they really want to hurt us all the time, they have us there. But remember, you're a spirit at this time. So it's up to you if you feel fearful. It's up to you if you are afraid, if you feel envy, if you feel hate. It's up to you. They cannot touch you, but they can deceive you. That's the thing. It's very unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. But you see, when you go to the dot that says broke air matrix, and then there's two options there. The dotted line, you're going into the light, but it's your decision. I mean, you can break there whenever you want. Unfortunately, when you go into the light, I don't know if you can also leave as every time you want. I don't know. But I think they keep you so distracted like they do on Earth with so many things, a bump here to the left and a bump to the right. Then it's going to be difficult for you to say, I don't want more of this. I really want to leave this matrix. Okay, so I'm going to say, how do you break it? You just keep going. And it's going to be fearful maybe because it's going to be pitch black and it's going to be the void, what is called the void. So it's the universe. You're going back to the universe. But you see, you were not afraid when you joined Civilization A and Civilization B. You are afraid right now because all the things that are planted here on Earth. We go through a grooming process that starts when you're born. I mean, you get registered, you go to school. Your parents, unfortunately, they don't know better, but most of the parents, they also contribute to that grooming. And then you have, I'm going to say religions, they contribute to the grooming, all of them. And then you have, the whole system that is about making money. I'm sorry to say that, but it's about making money. The ones that say that it's not about making money is because they are born into money. Okay, like Prince Harry or whatever, he says, do whatever you want. Yeah, of course, because you have never had to work one day in your life. You see, so it's very easy, or millionaires, or sons of millionaires, or like someone like Trump. Okay, I'm sorry if I hurt you by saying that, but it's very easy when you're at the top to say, don't worry about it. But the ones that are born at the bottom, everything is about, going to school and getting your crafts and getting better at things so you can maybe create a business or you can have a great job and a great career and eventually make a lot of money. And then everything is about retirement, and then, and sickness. And then when you grow with age, everything is about sickness. You have high pressure, you have maybe diabetes, you have problems if you're a male with your prostate, and if you're a female with your reproductive system, ovaries or something, and cancer, and eventually you die. Okay, die in earth terms, you see. And that was your life. And I don't even know you really enjoy it if you were so concerned about just making money and money and money and money and things and more and more. And then you have more than, some people even get depressed as millionaires because they want more and more and more, And they don't even know how to spend it, or they start inventing new things to spend it, but they just want more and more because they will grow more. Concentrate on that so that you don't concentrate on your spirituality, you see. You don't concentrate on your eternal path. You don't concentrate on learning your lessons from karma. You don't concentrate on non-interfering with others. You don't concentrate on living in balance. You concentrate on that, which is in nature unbalanced. The hierarchy system, the financial system, the medical system, everything, all systems on earth that were given to us are unbalanced in nature. Unbalanced in nature. Okay? We need to change all that on the new earth and humanity we're going to build together. So, going back to the holding pattern, then eventually through a birth, and that's what it's been said, it's called reincarnation. Okay? That's the only time I will use that word. I will not use that word if you break the matrix. That's not reincarnation. This is reincarnation. So you are sent, and usually you are sent to the same family group. Again, I don't know about that. Or the possibility, less likely, that you serve to another family group, maybe because there was not a chance. So what can happen is, you probably have heard, if you had a great-grandmother, let's say, when you were really young, and she's really old at the end of her experience here on earth, and she says, you look just like my dad. So it was your great-great-grandfather. So what happens is, you're probably him. Okay, it's the same soul. So, even you're probably going to be similar physically. So when you go and check pictures from, family members from 100 years ago, you're probably going to be very similar. If someone remembers there's a bridge there, they're going to say you are very similar. And so that explains it. And some people say genes, because their genes have memory. Yes, they of course have memory, mostly for biological things, by the way. And some knowledge can go through genes and that. But no, I don't think. I think that's, you're really him. You see, this case of the great grandmother saying you look exactly like my dad. I mean, I feel it's you or whatever. Most of the times, it's you. So when someone dies very young, there's possibility to reincarnate, like in the children of the children, and things like that. And it's basically this process. If you go to the dots, join humanity, then ignore the broke earth matrix. I'm going to talk about that in a second. You go to the dotted line. You are deceived by the light. You're returned to earth. You're in a holding pattern. You're in a place again, and I don't know what happens there. Hopefully something good. They have they make it easy on you. Maybe time is not earth time. I don't think it doesn't. So maybe it's just a blink for you. And by the way, when you are rejoined into humanity, when the dotted line goes into the word humanity, through a birth, everything gets clear from you. There's through some sort of process, artificial or whatever. So you don't remember anything. But sometimes this process fails, and that's why there is these stories of people talking about other lives. And usually, I don't know why it fails when you are multisystemic. So they talk about people on other continents and that they're not related genetically or as a family. So I kind of connected those dots myself. To be honest, it's what I know is that when it fails, it's always about other families. It's not like I'm my great-great-grandfather. No, I've never seen that. It possibly happens. I could be wrong again. But the stories I've seen is usually, and they do what is called regressions, which is a good way. Just get a good therapist that those regressions that you trust him or her, because when they take command of your mind, they could do other stuff. Okay, so be careful about that. But if you trust him or her, then they could do regressions and you can look into your past lives. And it's could be scary and it could be fun and it could be a growth process, you see. I don't think that's necessary. I think that's why we get unlimited experiences to learn or rules of the universe, and that converts into karma, and we become an eternal being. I don't think it's necessary to go back and understand your past lives and say, oh my God, I was a killer 10 lives ago, so I mustn't kill. No, it doesn't, and it doesn't work that way. If you are not killing in this life, it's because you understand that lesson. Okay? If you're not a criminal, it's because you understand that lesson. So that's why I also say we mustn't judge even criminals, because we maybe were criminals 10, 20, 30 lives ago. Okay? So in a way, if you judge someone like that, you're judging yourself in the past. And you see, you exist through all this white line, and it's a very difficult concept to explain, but time doesn't exist in a way. So you were a criminal, you are a criminal, and you're going to be your superior self and an angel, all at the same time, meshed together. So that's why we mustn't judge. We're all in a different process. We're all in a different place. So we mustn't judge. Okay. So you can go through this cycle many times, hundreds, unfortunately. And that's what's different about planet Earth. And there are surely other planets that this is going on, this deception matrix. But you see, the evildoers, the ones that are in a different place, the lost souls, they're lost, they're confused. They justify themselves saying, it's free will. You can break this matrix wherever you want. On your next experience, just keep going. Just go to the void, go to the universe, go back to another planet or galaxy. Don't follow us. Don't believe us. It's up to you. Of course, it's very hard because through your life, you're being bombarded with this stuff. Through many things, even unconscious manners, okay? So it's extremely difficult to break the matrix. But now I'm going to talk about that. Okay, you broke the Earth matrix. You kept going. You went into the void, into the universe. It's maybe scary, but you're going higher than the speed of light. It's basically in a blink, okay? It's going to be just a second for you. And I'm going to tell you, yeah, good for you. Good for you. I'm very happy. You broke the matrix. Earth is a beautiful place. You might want to come back. And apparently my story is I already broke the matrix once, okay? And I decided to come back on my own free will. So I'm here right now. I know that's very difficult to grasp, but that apparently already happened to me. And I keep saying that whenever my Earth experience right now, this one I'm living right now, ends, I'm going to break the matrix. That's what I say. Let's see if I'm able to do it. I hope so. And I hope if this resonates with you, you are able to break it yourself. But you have to feel it, and it's something that has to vibrate with you. If what I'm saying is scary and doesn't make sense, and you go back to whatever religious, and I don't want to, I've been getting some comments that I talk about religious books like I'm making them less. No, if your Bible or Quran or something resonates with you, that's great, that's beautiful. So you need to make your decision yourself. I hope I just make you a little bit curious just to consider it, you see, and you decide at the end. Again, the decision is always to you. You have free will, especially as a spirit, you're untouchable. You're untouchable. So you break the Earth matrix and you go to other experiences. I didn't have time to put a dotted line to say you can return to Earth. That's a possibility, certainly. That's something apparently I decided many lives ago. So here I'm on my second round, if you want to call it like that. So, but I decided I want to leave this Earth on my next experience, and let's see if that happens. I don't know. Does that mean Earth is horrible? No, Earth is a beautiful place with a benevolent species. And I want to talk about that. Humanity as a species hasn't taken its place in the universe. I wanted to make an example, an analogy, like countries. I don't know if you remember through history, the British Kingdom and Spain and others. When they invaded, especially countries in Latin America and Africa and others, Asia, they were protectorates, or they were not really countries. You see. They were colonies. Colonies. That's a good one. So I think the Earth right now is a colony. The Earth is a colony of the evildoers, and as these countries did, they unfortunately almost always through war. Very few countries were able to make it through peace, but through war they were able to gain their independence, when basically what happened is the mother country, the British Empire or Spain or Portugal or Italy a little bit or France a lot, and many of these countries decided we shouldn't bother anymore with these guys. I mean, they really, it's not worth the hassle. Let's them have their land and become a new country. And that even happened to the United States. I mean, they broke free from the British Empire and became the United States of America. They were colonies in the 1700s. So Yes, it was to war, and you know, the George Washington and all that. You might wanna, if you probably know the story, but you wanna refresh it. Again, it was to a point that they won a war. The mother country, in this case the British Empire, said, you know, it's not worth the hassle to keep a war just to keep that land. Let them have their independence. So you see, that's very important, that analogy, because that's going to happen with Earth soon. We are going to raise our consciousness one being at a time. One being at a time is going to discover who they are, where do they come from. Oh my God, I'm so powerful. Oh my God, I have all this wisdom inside me. I'm able to do so many things. So what's going to happen is the evildoers are going to say, we are not going to bother with this anymore. It's just too difficult to keep them in fear all the time, to feel of black goo or antimatter. It's so difficult to keep. A lot of them are breaking the matrix. The deception is not working anymore. So you know what? You can have your planet, humanity, and then we're going to take our place in the universe. Okay, then are we going to see it with our own eyes? I don't know. It's coming soon in terrestrial terms, in Earth terms. It's going to come in the next 100 years, maybe. And you see, that's why they're so desperate right now, to really confuse you, because millions and millions are opening their eyes. So they're extremely afraid about that. And the jab, it was one of their tools to keep people asleep. Okay. So if you took the jab, doesn't mean you're going to be, doesn't mean anything it's going to affect you physically, yes. Spiritually, zero. I don't believe that. And can you break the matrix even with the jab? Maybe. It's going to be hard, but it's going to take a lot. But you may be going to break it. So you see, they're throwing everything at us, everything right now. And is it going to be soon? I hope so. Are we going to see it with our own eyes? I certainly hope so. Are we maybe returning to Earth in the future, as Earth has taken its place and become such a different place? Probably, in my case, will be the third round. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Again, we all need to go through as many experiences as we need to understand our lessons. Okay. So I'm in the semi-final dot, the last second to last dot, other experiences. So that means go back to the planets, even planet Earth. And then finally, when you get all your lessons, you get to your eternal life. You become an angel, a beacon of light, guidance, and love. Excuse me. So, that's the end. No, that's not the end. That I could put a dotted line that goes to the right and right and right and goes forever. Okay, so that's your ultimate expression, and that's when you become your superior self, your ascended self, your spiritual self, which, by the way, is allowed to go back through the one line, through time, to help you on each and every one of your experiences. And right now, your superior self wants to talk to you, but you see, he understood his lesson, so he respects the law of non-interference. So if you don't talk to him, he's not going to talk to you. If you don't ask for help to him, he's not going to help you. And by the way, help comes in the way of guidance, always. We need to put in the work. It's not going to be give me $1 million, superior self. It's maybe going to be, I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million. And by the way, the number, I'm sorry about the number, but money is an energy. It doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme. I know we need money on this reality, and that's why it's the only importance. But I certainly wish it didn't exist. But for money to not exist, this reality has to change. And hierarchies have to fall, and everything needs to fall. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope I was very detailed, and I really wanted to make this episode. I was inspired by the person that contacted me yesterday to make a better explanation of what I feel goes on through your eternal existence, and how this process that is very scary to us, called death, that doesn't exist. It's a biological thing. You go on forever. So you mustn't worry, you relax, and if you break the matrix perfectly, and if you don't, then you're coming for another cycle on Earth, and it's not a big deal. Remember, you go on forever, so how much is 60 years, 80 years on an eternity? Not very much. Okay, so thank you very much. Have a very nice day. Please share this content. There's the email. I was contacted by email by this person, so I don't put the email on the show notes because, eventually spam bots and that's are going to pick it up, and I don't have time really to go through that. So if you're interested, there's the email. And as always, please check out the guys from Wake in the Future. They had a very interesting episode today of their show Keeping It Real from someone in Belgium. So it was really interesting. You might want to check that. Link to their channel is in the show details. Have a very nice Saturday and have a very nice day. Thank you very much. We want you on the show. Send me an email to hey@humanitywins.net to schedule an interview. Help me out by making the show more interesting, fun, and knowledgeable by having you on and giving our viewers the opportunity to learn from you. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from touching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Please be sure to check out our friends from Waking the Future and their awaken-attire.com shop. They gave me my first opportunity to speak about this and I will be forever grateful. Link to their channel and shop on the show notes. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.